Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Saleh, he said it's not working. What's not working, Habibi? What is not working? Uh, get my phone. I don't know where my phone is. What's not working, Habibi? It says working. No, yeah, I had it. I had it off. I wasn't on. I was still getting things ready, giving people a chance to come, inshallah. So that's my little thing. That's my little tactic. So I just turn the cam off. Get ready, make wudu. Say it in a small dua. Real quick. That way people could see, because when it says Abdul Kabir Muhammad is live. That way people don't miss, because a lot of this stuff. This is really, 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 really good stuff. Really good stuff. I need my phone. Give me 1 second. Let me get my phone. 1 second. You got to have that jack. You got to have that jack. Okay, we're gonna dive right in because I got a flight to catch early in the morning, so we ain't got no time for play. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. خصوصا على الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين. أما بعد. That's my little phone stand, man. I ain't organized. Okay, so take off the starting and a few banner. I'm a rookie, man. Yeah, you're right. Because we have started. Hold up. Bloop. We need that. We need that Maliki on there. Okay, so we're gonna dive straight in. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قال الله تعالى في كتاب المجيد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله إنك لرسوله والله يعلم إن المنافقين لكاذبون. صدق الله العظيم. That's the first ayah, 2 ayahs, 3 ayahs, the first couple ayahs, a few ayahs of Surah Al-Munafiqun. I wanted to start with those ayats because first, what I'm saying, what I say, and what I do. I'm first and foremost, let me warn y'all, I'm a tough dude. I'm from the streets. I'm not a sheriff. I'm not at all. I'm a former criminal. I'm a tough dude, man. I ain't for none of the play, none whatsoever. So I talk real strong, and I am very, very, very passionate about Islam. And I don't take too kindly to people tampering with it. This is my beef with the Salafi Minhaj. They are purposely tampering with the Hidayah. First and foremost, understand my position. One of the ignorant Salafis, he said that I'm doing this for fame. Man, I only get like 50, 60 views, man, on a regular. And it's always been like that since I've been doing my little 2 cents in dawah. So let me just clarify that. I've been at this for 5 years now. I don't get no thousands of views, and stuff don't go viral or none of. And I got 2 businesses that pay me well. I barely have time to even do these videos and do this kind of stuff. But this is in my heart. This is in my heart, and this is my little bit of something that I can do to help the community. Especially the African American and Latino communities. They suffering bad from this Salafi Minhaj cancer. Salafi, we suffering bad. We got to wonder why these places where there's really, really bad crime, where there's a heavy presence of Muslims and there's really, really bad crime, Philly, New Jersey, New York, Baltimore, Uh, these places have a very strong Salafi presence. And in my head, in the heart of my hearts, how in the world they make fun of us like, oh, you a Sufi and all this. Uh, you know, hurry up, girl. You always gotta use the bathroom. He is always making up a Chicago. Excuse me. Well, I didn't think it was that bad up there, but I guess so. Imam Muhammad said Chicago. Everywhere where there's a significant um, African American or Latino presence, we have a bad Salafi cancer. And let me just throw this in there. That's mainly because African Americans and Latinos traditionally, we come from we don't come from scholarly families. We come from poverty. We don't get the benefits of education like a lot of the other communities, like the foreign communities and stuff. We don't get to go to the foreigners. They come here, the Arab and the Indians, and even some of the Africans. They come here for college and came from some type of privilege back home. We don't have none of that. So we don't have people to send overseas to learn scholarship. We don't have those benefits. So we're easily influenced. We always have been. This is how the slave owner put the flim flam wham wham down on us with slavery, and then tricked us into following the same exact religion that they actually used to enslave us. It's the same paradigm. This is what the Salafis are doing. Like, they're knowingly doing this stuff, and this is why I'm doing these videos. I ain't doing it because I'm making some money. I don't make nothing off this. I'm actually losing money. Like, I could be doing a lot of market research and things that actually pay me for the businesses that I own. Mashallah ta'ala. So this ain't for no type of clout, no type of views. This is 100% fee sabilillah. And I care a lot because I want us to live in peace. All those cities that I named is hell going on. Even Cincinnati is hell going on. We don't have a strong African American Latino Muslim presence at all. Period. So we're not even as advanced as those other cities are. So the few Muslims that are here who come from straitened circumstances get sucked into this whole Salafi stuff, because, like I said, it sounds very romantic. It sounds very heroic. The Quran and Sunnah, we must save the world, and all of the Muslims are wrong except for us. That sounds all great, and it feeds the ego, so it's attractive. Um, so I want to kind of we got to put some straightening on this stuff, because I read this ayah, and because the translator, Allah Ta'ala said, when the hypocrites come, uh, before I go to the translation, this is the first couple ayahs from Surah Munafiqun, the chapter called Hypocrites. This is that ayah. Allah Subhanahu wa Taala said, when the hypocrites come, إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله. They say, when the hypocrites come to you, they say kalima shahada. They say kalima shahada. And mind you, now this is not for all of the Salafis. Most of them don't know any difference. I'm speaking to the leadership here, and the people who defend the leadership. All of the people who are laymen and women, this is not for you. This is not about you, but be warned. This is a warning for myself. I warn myself with this, and everybody else should take a warning from this. This is the Sunnah. The Sahaba used to take warnings from this. There's a big famous hadith from Hamdara radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when he heard the characteristics of a hypocrite, and he was like, oh, hold up, I'm in trouble. We should be looking at these ayahs like, whoa, hold up, am I on this? Am I doing this? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that Wallahu ya'lamu innaka la rasulullah. So it's confirmed that the messenger is the messenger. Like, Allah knows that we don't need anybody's confirmation of that. Them saying it or us saying it doesn't make a difference. This is fact. That's fact. Period. Then Allah Ta'ala said, indeed, He knows. Indeed, Wallahu ya'lamu innal munafiqina lakadhibun. Like, Allah knows they are liars. They are liars. So be advised, brothers and sisters, don't lie. And look at the firasa in this ayah. Look at the firasa in this ayah. What are they lying about? This ain't talking. That's those first ayahs that say that jai coming up ila souk. They when the hypocrites come and then they go to the marketplace. What are they not? That's not what it said. Allah Ta'ala said when the hypocrites come to you, they in your face. They acting like you. They behaving like you. They saying the things that you say. They confirm what you confirm. They say that we bear witness that you are the messenger of Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ was asked about, some of the deviants. And one of the Sahaba, and I'm paraphrasing this hadith, and one of the particular Sahaba he was talking to, he said, man, in case we live in these times, what these folks gonna look like? Prophet ﷺ said they're gonna look like you. So they're gonna look like you. Long beard, like Salih say, they got the little curtain and then the crease in the middle. 3 cuts in your eyebrow trying to wild out. They got the whole costume, you know what I'm saying? And like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, describing the hypocrite, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said again, describing the hypocrites, that they will recite the Quran and it won't go past their throats. And they run out of Islam like the arrow leaves the bow. So we got to be careful. We gotta be careful. So in these 2 ayahs, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say they were lying about? They were lying about the deen. They were lying about the deen. They weren't lying. I mean, they probably was liars in their everyday affairs. But let's look deeply into this ayah. One of the characteristics of the hypocrites is that they lie about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's deen. Be terrified of that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm terrified of it. Be terrified of that. Don't fall into that. So, one of my friends is on here. I ain't gonna say it. Matter of fact, you know what? I know him. I ain't gonna. You made me mad earlier, brother. You know who you are. You made me mad earlier, man. You hurt my feelings. Cause I know you. Like we sat together, we eat. Yeah, I look up to you to some degree. You know, you're an intelligent black man, and you doing your thing. You done traveled the world. You know what I mean? And then you took me in when I came home from the joint and showed me around, showed me all the good brothers, especially the African American brothers, But yeah, I ain't gonna get on your case, man. But you hurt your little brother feelings. I'm gonna let you know that, Malik. You hurt your little brother's feelings. But I'm gonna be technical. I ain't gonna be. I'm stick straight to the text. I ain't gonna do the. I don't get in. I try not to get into the name calling and all of that. And that's a real slalfi thing. Like as soon as they can't put their little spew off on you, then you're a Sufi Ash'ari, like as if those are slurs. And believe me, the evidence for the Quran and Sunnah, the videos of the evidence of the Quran and Sunnah about the evidence of tasawwuf existing in the time of the Sahaba and then learning it from the Prophet ﷺ. All of this stuff is coming. All this is coming as much time as I get. But back to what I was saying. We must all take this ma'udah. Let's all take this. Like me first. Like I'm in real trouble. I'm on here talking to people, and then it's like maybe this can get shared. It could be seen all over the world. Even though there ain't this many people on here, like I don't want to be in charge of I don't want to be in charge of misguiding somebody. So we should take the utmost care with what we say. Number one, what you believe in, what you bring it into your own heart, what you feed in your family, and then what you spewing on social media and in your everyday actions and interactions with people. Na'udhu billah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us all. So aside from all that rant, I just had to drop that. I had to throw that out there because this is what's at stake. This ain't just us going back and forth on Facebook. I sound right. You get the last comment. I get the most likes. This is not the game at hand. This is not what's going on. What's going on is are we in the bounds of Iman or are we not? That's what's going on. This is what's happening. And if we are not in the bounds of Iman, if the inside of us is not good, how can the outside of us be good? And this is the end goal. I want to live in peace. I want my household to be in peace. I want my community to be in peace. I want my community to be in peace. And what I believe is that I need to give my community Islam. I don't need to give them the flim flam wim wham. I need to give them Islam, not the flim flam wim wham. And sorry to be funny, but you know the Salafi minhaj is the flim flam wim wham. And I believe, given benefit of the doubt, that 90% of them just don't know it. So here I am in the videos, because so I had a debate with the guy who was obviously Salafi. I'm not gonna say his name. I was gonna say his name. He had me kind of hot earlier because he was just getting real disrespectful. He couldn't keep things about the conversation and the topic at hand, and he got real disrespectful. And I returned it in kind, rightfully so. So I ain't gonna say his name. I ain't take the video down either. So getting into my topic. The topic tonight is Salafi anthropomorphism. This is what we call tatsim in Islam. And they have a concept. The Salafis have a concept that they call the Allah. I don't even know the actual term that they use. Malik, why don't you put that in there for us? Uh, that's why I be trying to tell y'all to come on here. I ain't gonna yell and scream at y'all if y'all don't yell and scream at me. But you know, I don't want to quote y'all out of term. But they have this. They have this thing that they call it's a concept of luhur, where they just take the outer and apparent meaning. So, for example, we were debating. So I put a video up saying that I got $100 prize for any Salafi who can give me an authentic chain of narration for what they believe. Things like this, for what they believe, going back to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Big, big, big problem. You got to look at like the Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. First foremost, like this like please follow me here. We have the Salafis who are the micro minority in this community. It's more Shia than there is Salafis in this world. So we have the micro minority group, or firqa, as they like to always say, claiming that they are the Jama'ah, that they are the majority, that they are the congregation, that they are the saved sect, so on and so forth. But you're not even the saved sect. And then they use a flawed logic saying, what's the ayah? Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَكَثِيرٌ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ, or وَكَثِيرٌ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, whichever one of the ayahs. One of y'all scholars correct me. And they use this ayah. Number one, your usul tafsir is wrong. And it's wrong because they are not in the sanad. They're not taking, they're using their flawed logic. They're using kalam. They're using philosophy a flawed man-made philosophy to interpret the Quran and the Sunnah. The first thing that's wrong about interpreting that ayah in that manner and misusing it in that manner is that ayah is those ayats like that are always talking about the munafiqun or the kufar. The munafiqun or the kufar. Most of the time, it's talking I gotta say the kufar. The people who rejected Islam and people in other religions. That's what that ayah was. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was talking about. So they have succeeded in misguiding people because they've taken the interpretation away from the people. And they said go straight to the Quran or go straight to the Sunnah. If you go straight to the Quran and go straight to the Sunnah, that interpretation that they gave cannot be corrected because they took the people away from the interpretation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that he sent the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to do tabayyanu, so that he can make it clear, so he can explain it, so that it can he can give the tafsir. What? So logic tells us, real good logic tells us that if Nabi alayhi salatu salam was given the tafsir, he was given the bayan. Who was he given the bayan to? He wasn't given the bayan to himself. This is firasa. This is fiqh. Stuff that they miss out on because they're going straight to the Quran and the Sunnah. They don't have this understanding. And this is flawed. Why do I bring this up? Why is this a point? This protects you because if you go to the people who the Prophet ﷺ was given the bayan to, then you can't go wrong. So when they say we go straight to the Quran and we go straight to the Sunnah, you're taking that aspect of you denying that ayah when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that he gave the Quran to the Prophet ﷺ so that he can make it clear to the people. You completely you're denying this ayah. Y'all not doing it on purpose. Y'all don't know no better. I don't know anybody personally who was like a Maliki and then became a Salafi, or who was like a Shafi'i and then became a Salafi. Like I ain't never heard that. Like and I've been Muslim almost 15 years. I've never heard that. And there's reasons why. But so when they take the people out, those people who the Prophet ﷺ was given the bayan to, those are the people who invented the isnad, who are the isnad. This is a living proof. This is a living proof. So when they get this, they have this whole zahid concept of taking the apparent meaning, like the guy that I was debating with in the post. He was like, "Oh, if you knew anything about fiqh, you would know that you take the zahid meaning. That's fiqh. That's not aqidah." And yes, that is a principle of fiqh. But it's not I don't know of that to be a principle for Aqidah. And when they say they're taking the zahir meaning, this methodology, this, I don't even want to call it an usul. I don't even want to put that, it's not even an usul. That method, it is unheard of. It started with Ibn Abdul Wahhab. So this is why y'all hear me all the time ranting and raving, say, give me a sanad, give me a sanad, give me a sanad. Give me a sanad. Somebody sent that guy to the video yesterday because they couldn't answer it. No, but none of them, any Salafi who's seen that couldn't answer it. I don't know. It's good to know that the Salafis have a lot of oil money. I mean, they got money. I mean, they don't need my $100. Who would, man, let somebody tell me, I pay you $100 for the son out of Imam Malik. What? You think I ain't coming? So when the guy got on there, I'm just gonna paraphrase his whole spew. I was gonna read the comments and the whole nine. I don't want to, I ain't gonna take the brother out of Islam. I'm not gonna eat his flesh, none of that. I actually hope he sees this and becomes inspired. And I do apologize for my strong words that I used against you, brother. And you know who you are. I do apologize for them strong words I used against you, man. But I'm very, very passionate about this. This is not a game for me. His whole spew was he provided an isnad. So we're gonna break down what he provided as proof. Number one, this is what you got to understand: the whole Salafi manhaj, that's like something that's not Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Like I said before, they are the micro minority of the community, and them saying, "Hey, Allah said that most of them will not know." Numbers is not an evidence. Actually, numbers is an evidence because we all know about the sound hadith. A hadith of Nabi alayhi salam talking about ijma. Used the same, it's coming from the same word. Jama'a, jama'u, jumu'a, ijma'a, tajma'u, yajma'u, ajma'u, whatever, however you want to keep going with it, it's the same word. Majority, a congregation, a lot. And as far as I know, the best translation is like more than like 3. And so that's dealing with some fiqh and stuff. So, but how can you have ijma if you're the majority, if you're the minority? That's like simple mathematics. before we get into the technicalities of hadith and usul and who said what and the isnad and then the rijal islam, before we get into any of that, we know that one of the usul in aqidah and in fiqh, which is the totality besides ihsan, and we can mix that in there, that's the totality of our deen. That's the totality of our religion. That's what we're doing. Before we get into any of that, we have to understand how simple mathematics. Example, if this was an Islamic government, if United States right now was an Islamic government, the parliament, the most seats in the parliament will belong to first the Hanafis, second the Malikis, third the Shafi'is, fourth the Hanbalis. I don't even know if the Salafis make the cut. You don't have any numbers. So how can we come to a scholarly consensus? And I've read stuff from the Salafi Minhaj that said that, oh, ijma is not a science, that this is bid'ah, because it goes against them. But this is a good logic to have. This is a good logic to have. I was talking to my wife earlier, and she was trying to understand ijma and all this. And I was like, one thing that really made my iman concrete was the science of studying the usul al-hadith. I'm not done with it. I'm talking about when I first got into it and start seeing stuff and knowing stuff. Majma'u Abu Isa, he added it. Brother's beautiful. He's great with the Arabic, right? Majma'u. They should know this. You know, they have a famous book from what's his name? I think Majma'u Fatawa, Ar-Risala, something, whatever. They got it. They know this. So, but when I first started looking at hadith, and I started to learn about the science of isnad, to see like the miracle in this. When you had a lot of ashab, they went to Sham, they went to Maghrib, they went to Iraq, they went to Iran, they went to Khurasan, they were in Andalus, and you got ashab, you got tabi'in there on all these different places, and you got tabi'in in all these different places. And then you got the individuals that they connected with in all these different places. And mind you, a lot of the tabi'in, the tabi'in in Iraq didn't necessarily know the tabi'in in Sham. Like they didn't necessarily know each other. They were you was somebody from somebody through one transmission, and then you was somebody from somebody through another transmission. So like a lot of the tabi'in and the tabi'in, like they didn't know each other. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So when you look at the works that come out of the, so you got the tabi'in, then after that you have the era of the salaf. That's what the salaf is. You have the era of the salaf. And then you have their students, and then their students. So then you start the era of the khalaf. Okay? So you see what's taught from the tabi'in to the salaf and then to the khalaf. Now that we are in hindsight in history, you can compare what the salaf and the khalaf brought out of Sham, what they brought out of Iraq, what they brought out of Khurasan, what they brought out of all the places in the Islamic world. And it all says the same thing. And what's even more so beautiful is that it all says the same thing through different asanid. Subhanallah. This is Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Prophet Islam gave us a prophecy. He said that his ummah was not going to agree on dalala. It wasn't going to happen. How did the Prophet ﷺ know that his way was going to spread all over the world and it was going to be preserved? And the very thing that preserved it, this prophetic narration, what is that? What is the material aspect of this prophetic narration? Al-Isnad. MashaAllah ta'ala. Subhanallah. Come on. That's miraculous. You can't agree with people to do nothing. If we all say, hey, y'all, let's go to a Bengals game. Let's go to the Bengals and the Steelers game. You got 5 people. Somebody, I want to see the Baltimore game. Well, I want to see the Cleveland game. That's what's going to happen. You ain't never going to find, like, hey, let's go to the Bengals game. And everybody be like, all right, we're going to go to the Steelers game. It's always going to be some disagreement. When people starting businesses, when people and look at these people in the greatest so-called country in the world, America. They got this great parliament system. These folks shut down the whole world because they can't come to an agreement. These are the richest people in the world. These are the smartest people in the world. Excuse me. The richest people in the world, the smartest people in the world, and the most powerful people in the world. And they can't come to an agreement about nothing. And these are the people who have the power and control the world. They control space. But then you have the people who are quote unquote nothing. And they agree on everything. We got semantical differences for the naysayers. We got semantical differences. But other than that, it's the same. So this is evidence against the Salafi minhaj. Where is your connection to this miraculous history? Where do you fit? So when somebody says, hey, we're going to have a madhabi and a Salafi debate, when the Salafi is coming to the debate, you cannot come with our scholars. Let me say that again. You cannot come with our scholars. And this is the mistake that the brother did on the post. He spoke out of turn. He put himself in trouble. You cannot speak out of turn. How did he speak out of turn? So he provided, number one, a so-called quote. So the issue at hand is the Salafis believe that some of Allah's sifats, like when it was mentioned his shin, it was mentioned Allah's hand, Allah was mentioned that Allah's eyes, and please forgive me for all of my mufawwidun for saying that. I know y'all don't like that. But the ayahs in the Quran when it says yad, the ayahs in the Quran when it says ayn, ayahs in the Quran when it says ulu, ala, istiwa, ala al-arsh, all of this, they actually believe that this is actual. They believe that it's physical. And this is their whole take the zahir, the apparent meaning. And they believe that it is kufr and it is denial of the Quran and it is denial of the sifatullah. If you say we confirm it, but not like that. They say doing ta'wil and tafweed, they say that this is haram and it's bid'ah and it's shirk and it's kufr. I don't think they say it's shirk, but they say it's kufr. We, on the other hand, say the opposite. So the problem is you got 2 groups of kufis, you got 2 groups of beards, you got 2 groups of jalabiyas, you got 2 groups of niqabis. I don't know the plural from niqab and niqabis. Nukubat, maybe, I don't know. Malik, let me know what the plural from niqabis is. So you got people who both say kalima shahada on both sides saying one thing or another. Khalas, no problem. No problem. This is nothing new. The Bukhari had the same problem. Imam Ahmad had the same problem. Bayhaqi had the same problem. Ibn al-Hajjaj had the same problem. All the scholars, everybody, this is nothing new to the Ummah. Problem is, what do? We got to stick to our guns. We have to look at the science of hadith, and we have to judge what you're saying according to the usulul hadith. Where's your isnad? Is the isnad good? Where's the matan? Is the matan good? That's the only way we're gonna find out what's what. And I'm not a scholar. I'm a student of scholars. I have not seen, and I've heard my scholars, my personal scholars, and then all the scholars that are connected. I have not heard one of them corroborate tashseen, tashbih, tamthil. I have not seen one of them corroborated. Not one of them. So this means that I'm not the expert here. I'm communicating with you what the experts are saying. So when y'all mad at me, like, oh, you don't know what salafia is. Hey, brother, I don't. Nobody does. Not even the Salafis don't know what Salafia is. Why don't they? Because the brother who was arguing with me about whether Allah's istiwa was actual, factual, no, to be lied, or if it was figurative. And they say that this figurative thing we got going on is haram. That's what they say. So the evidence that this brother brought, number one mistake that he made, and this is what's wrong with going to the Quran and Sunnah yourself, because there's billions of scholars between your Quran and your Sunnah that's going to say the opposite of what your logical philosophy thinks. What your philosophy thinks. They call us the mutakallimun. Y'all are the mutakallimun. Because y'all come up with this stuff out of nowhere. We don't do kalam in the essence of how y'all say it is. Philosophy, human logic. We don't do that. We'll break down to you with some logic. We got knuckle and you got akal. We'll take the text and we'll take what's said, and then you have to match it with the akal. If you didn't, how in the world could Allah punish you? If you're not supposed to use your akal, how is Allah going to punish you on the Qiyamah? You saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not adl? Na'udhu billah. You telling us that he gave us Quran and he gave us Sunnah, and it's not to, and our akal is not to be applied to it? I didn't say bid'ah. I didn't say Aristotle. I had a slalfi dude call me a pig Jew, Aristotelian. No basis for this in our deen whatsoever. We just say what was said. And sorry to burst your bubble, brothers and sisters, Salafi brothers and sisters. Sorry to burst your bubble. But the whole kalam thing, that has been said. That we're saying it, and it has been said by the scholars, by the jumhur, by the majority, the whole of the scholars in every single generation. But if you only go into the Quran and you only go into the what you call the Sunnah, you only got one aspect of it. You only have the texts. You don't have what came with it. So how do you understand it? Who's really doing kalam? You using your own logic. This whole the tamthil and tashbih, this whole thing that Uthaymin and Ben Bast and pushed into everybody's brains is all, as far as I can see, it's all a pigment of their imagination. Na'udhu billah. And then they take the statements of the illustrious scholars. Look how foolish the brother sounded. He brought to me a supposed quote from Imam Malik, my Imam, where my isnad lives. He brought that to me. I ain't got time to go into the Arabic, and he tried to be real fancy. He started speaking in Arabic. I was translating everything he was saying as he was saying it to me, because he was trying to play with the people, make himself look like he was smart and he was some person of authority because he knew some Arabic. Very rarely in my videos y'all will see me use Arabic, because this is dawah. This is not darsa. I got folks who can teach you Arabic. I got folks who can teach you fiqh. I got folks that can teach you aqidah. That ain't what I'm doing. I ain't even done studying yet, so I ain't even touching that. But he started putting all this Arabic stuff on there as if I couldn't read it. So he put the quote of Imam Malik. Number one, like I say, they go straight to the texts and they skip over the people who were given the texts, in the same light the people who were given the rights to give the explanation of the texts. They disregard that completely. And this is how you fall into trouble. This is how you fall into kufr. Not been a kafir. This is how you fall into kufr. Don't touch seam is kufr. It's an act of kufr. This ain't no game. This is not, hey, let's see how many likes I can get off this post. This is not that. We're talking about the suspension of your iman until you repent and come out of that. You got iman, but it's suspended when you're doing that. That's scary. Your Ramadan might be in question. Your Salah might be in question. Your good deeds, your little small good deeds that you do might be in question every time you say salam alaikum, salam alaikum, good people, top of the morning on Facebook, and everybody else give you the salam back. That's in question because you're doing tasseem. And the way that you fell into tasseem is because you don't take what was given. You think you are a mujtahid. You put yourself on a level of Imam Malik. A person that had ijazah from 900 different scholars in the Hijaz, in Medina, forget not the Hijaz, in Medina alone. Subhanallah. You know better than Imam Malik? So to the quote. Let me not misquote. And by the way, he deleted it. When I bust his head wide open, he deleted it. This is why I said, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, innal munafiqina wallahu ya'lamu innal munafiqina lakadhibun. You lying about the deen. You lying about the deen. Don't play with that. I done woke the baby up. See what y'all done did? Y'all done woke the baby up. She don't like to hear that bid'ah. You got the baby in the room crying. She don't like to hear the bid'ah. So I don't know if y'all can see this or not. I posted it. Can y'all see it? Boom. Can you see that? I circled it. I put that on the post and I highlighted it. It's glaring out, so you can't see it. There we go. So this is the quote that he gave, and then at the top of it, let me see. At the top of it right there, that's the isnad. First, hey, Stinky Winky, did you forget I was doing a video? The first problem was, number one, he didn't bring the Salafi mujtahid. So Imam Malik belongs to us. He believes in tafweed and he believes in ta'wil. Two things that y'all say is kufr and put you outside of Islam. You can't, he's not an evidence for you. Second, even more so, like the brother called me, he called me all these slurs. You Ash'ari, Sufi, this, and you Ash'aris do this, and you Ash'ari, you Ash'ari. The first name in that sanad is Imam Bayhaqi, an enemy to the people who was not Ash'ari. Like, whoa. I hope Malik is still on here. I don't know if he's still on here or not. I can't really see all the stuff. Somebody tagged Malik Muhammad because he was laughing at all my comments and stuff as if this was a joke. Brother, he quoted an Ash'ari against an Ash'ari. He brought a quote, a sanad. I told him, bring me a sanad from the Salafis, from the Salafi mujtahideen, which don't exist, which never existed, which never will exist. That's why I offered the prize for $100 because I know I wasn't gonna lose no money. There was never a Salafi mujtahid. Never, ever. And don't put in the comments. Don't get in my inbox because I'm gonna flame you. Talking about, oh brother, do you know what is Salafiyah? Cut it. If you think that I don't know what Salafiyah is, yeah, well, that ain't what this video was about. So he used a quote from an Ash'ari imam who was using Imam Malik's quote, and it's a weak quote, mind you. It has a weak narration, it's not. We say it has a weak. The one he did post, that one I just showed y'all, it is the strongest of the bunch. But we're gonna get there. He took a quote from an Ash'ari imam who was using the quote from Imam Malik. He was not Ash'ari, but Imam Abu Hassan, Imam Abu Hassan, he believes the same thing Imam Malik did. Abu Hassan. They believe the same thing. And he was using, Imam Bayhaqi was using this quote to drive the point drive the evidence of the Ash'ari home. What do they say? Allah musta'an. Y'all send me the boss and quit sending me these workers. Stop sending me these workers. Where's the boss? Where's the people that actually know what they're doing with this stuff? Unbelievable. I don't even need to. I got a few points I want to make, but I don't even think I need to go further. But I am. So, first problem is this they try to use this quote from Imam Malik as evidence for the zuhur, for their position of the zuhur, their position of taking the apparent meaning. So, just paraphrasing the hadith, and mind you, this is all not the hadith, the narration, the athar. This is all in Arabic. And brothers, oh, you don't know Arabic, and your Arabic is no good. Your tajweed is boy. Listen, I have a certificate of Shahada Ijaza with Sheikh Ayub. I showed it to the brother that's always talking that talk. I don't even like saying that stuff because I don't want to be associated with kibbut or none of that. But I know what I'm talking about, brother. I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, the situation was a man came and questioned Imam Malik about how istiwa, what was istiwa, and Imam Malik got mad first and foremost. So the simple fact, and this is how disconnected from Firasa that they are. You can't see that Imam Malik was first bothered. What's the quote? I don't want to. What's the quote? What's it say? فأتلك مالك وأخذته الرحضاء ثم رفع رأسه فقال. That statement, like Imam Malik broke out in sweat, and he put his head down like he was terrified that somebody was even talking about istiwa. He broke out in sweat and then put his head down. What they say, that's what he did. So first and foremost, that's evidence against the Salafi position of anthropomorphism, of tajsim. You tried to use Imam Malik as an evidence, and Imam Malik is evidence against you. You shouldn't even be. The conversation should not even get this far. This video should not even be 60 minutes long right now. Imam Malik was just so shocked and taken back and so terrified that somebody was bringing up the kayfullah. Na'udhu billah. Allah protect us all. That this also shows you, another point, this also shows you that it was not a thing in the time of the Salaf. Mind you, Imam Malik was a leader of the Salaf. Everybody say, following Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. Well, my Imam was the leader of the Salaf. His reaction was evidence that this was not something that the Salaf did. You still think I don't know what Salafiyah is? Imam Malik was the Imam in the time of the Salaf amongst Imam Abu Hanifa, next to Imam Abu Hanifa, next to Layth. Of course, I know Layth, Ja'far, Sadiq. Of course, we know these people. But none of them were Malik and Abu Hanifa. So this was not something that they did, sat around and said, talked about the kayf of Allah, the how and the modality and the essence of Allah. This was not something they did. First and foremost, bucko. Second, with Malik's next statement, after they said when he put his head up, what Malik say that what I circled, I asked that man and the guy who was heckling, I asked them to translate it. They called me every name under the sun. They called me every name up under the sun, called me all kinds of grave worshipers, all this mess. Yes, we all know that. Forget it. Miss me with all that. Guide the people. Let us know. Oh, Abdul Kabir is out here talking crazy and misguiding people. Well, why don't you guide the people? Why don't you tell us what that means, what you posted? First and foremost, it was arrogant to post something all Arabic, and you know the vast majority of the people can't even read it. And then for you to claim that it means one thing or another is deceptive. Wallahu ya'lamu innal munafiqina lakadibun. You lying. You just all out blatantly lying. Go make tawbah. If you have an ounce of sincerity in you, go make tawbah. I'll make tawbah. Astaghfirullah, ya Rabbi, astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayk. I'm making tawbah right now. There's no ego about it. But I'm making tawbah right now. Anything that I did or said that is wrong in regards to any of this, and anybody that can bring me factual evidence, I'll make tawbah right now for anything that I said or did that is wrong about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his deen. Go and make tawbah. What did Imam Malik say? ولا يقال كيف وكيف عنه مرفوع. He did tafweed. What do you, the Salafis, say is haram. The first words that came out of his mouth is say, we don't say how. Well, you call it kaif. And as far as I know, one of y'all scholars correct me. When you put la or wala at the beginning of the sentence, everything that comes behind it ain't no good. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's knowing your Arabic right there. They say, oh, brother, you don't know Arabic. Brother, post some Arabic. So on, so forth. Everything that came after wallah is negated. So how can this be confirmation or of the dhahir? Because he said the statement. And when he said the how, that's known. We don't know about this statement. But given benefit of the doubt and the corroboration of other writings of Imam Malik, and then corroboration of the consensus of the Imams of the Ummah, of the ijma' of the Imams of the Ummah, in every generation that you can count from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam all the way down to this day, nobody ever said nothing about a dhahir meaning. Nobody. So we took other statements. Our scholars are sophisticated. Our scholars are gangsters. When this became an issue, people were like, all right, we don't know if this is authentic or we don't know if it's or not. But given benefit of the doubt, if Malik said, وَكَيْفَ عَنْهُ مَرْفُوعٌ, the how is marfu', the rafa'a, the rising, the how is rising. He just is doing tafweed. And for all of y'all who don't know what tafweed is, it's just you say the ayah, you leave it alone. You say the ayah and you leave it alone. Somebody say, what is when Allah Ta'ala said Yadullah fawqa aydihim? What is the yad? Your answer should be Yadullah fawqa aydihim. You don't even touch it, you don't even go into it. That's tafweed. You leave it alone. You leave you leave the meaning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Salafi say that this is wrong. So the Salafi say that Allah revealed to us how and who. Allah Ta'ala does not have a kayf. He doesn't have a how. Another one of the weak narrations that they put in is they said that the rising on the throne is not known. They say it's known, and then they say it's not known. So they say with that you confirm it, but then you turn around and go and say, but we don't know how. What? Allah Ta'ala does the meaning. We don't know how. We don't know the meaning. Allah Ta'ala doesn't have a meaning. He doesn't have a how. There is no how. If there's a meaning, he put that on the thread too, that the meaning is known. What? You know Allah? You know how and in the manner that Allah situated himself above the throne? Na'udhu billah. You know the meaning? Excuse me? Allah Ta'ala does not have a how. Allah Ta'ala does not have a meaning. We leave the meaning to whatever it is. We confirm it and we leave it alone. That's what Imam Malik was doing. He was doing tafweed. He was not doing. He didn't even go into the ta'wil. Yeah, that's what I said, boy. He said there's a meaning, but we leave the meaning to Allah. We don't do what we don't say. So the Salafis, when they say we don't know the how, they say it's arising, but it's not arising like us. We don't do that. We don't go into that at all. Ain't no. They have this whole philosophy of tamthil and tashbih, one being different from the other. And tamthil is haram and tashbih is okay. Them two synonymous words. Likeness and comparison, or likeness and similar. What's the difference between likeness and similar? Come on, y'all playing with words because y'all been caught being wrong. Y'all getting y'all heads busted. Now y'all doing philosophy. Y'all doing kalam. When we bust y'all heads with all of the authentic statements that come from the time of the Salaf that go against what y'all say, y'all start doing kalam. Oh, he has an eyes, but don't have eyes like us. What? Na'udhu billah. So this was not evidence. The first words that Imam Malik said was, La yuqalu kayf. We do not say, it is not said how. This was evidence against him. This is why I asked us, I circled in the accent and said, bro, can you translate that? You putting all this Arabic in the thread and making everybody think that you know this and you know that. Do you even know what you just said? Well, matter of fact, forget all that. I don't know what you said. Translate it for me. The two hecklers, they didn't translate nothing. They just resorted to slurs. And this is a sign of arrogance. And this is a sign of nifaq. This is a sign of hypocrisy. Na'udhu billah, we have to be careful, y'all. We have to be careful. This is not a game. This is not dress up. This is not, let's see who can go viral on Facebook. Y'all, please believe me, this is not a game. And then on top of that, he didn't believe nothing that I was saying. I told him, I said, listen, I have evidence of ta'wil from the time of the Sahaba. He asked me for my isnad. I said, I can show you. So I dug real deep into a tafsir in all Arabic, because he was like, post the Arabic, because I don't accept that what you posted from the book, even though Sheikh Sa'id al-Fawda is like well established. I posted some evidence from a book showing that statement from Imam Malik, and he's saying negating any positioning belonging to Allah. Up, down, left, right, front, back. I posted it. I put it right there. I gave him the dalil, like the Salafi said. You got the dalil for that? I'm Mr. Dalil. Matter of fact, call me Ibn Dalil from here on out. So the Salafis, not the brothers. The Salafis, call me Ibn Dalil from here on out. Or call me Ibn Adillah. That's it. That's even better. What Sheikh Yusuf say, Abu Isa? The word Adillah is better than the word Dalil. Call me Ibn Dalil, Adillah. I posted it. Boom. Put it right there. Y'all go look at the thread. Boom. I put it right there for you. This is what Imam Malik said. So it can't mean what you think it means. Imam Malik is right here in this statement, and I got some other statements from Imam Malik too, negating a cave or a how or a place or any of that. And him doing ta'wil in it. Boom, here you go, brother. He said, oh, that's interpolated. And he didn't even know that quote, he didn't even take the time. He was in such a fit of rage of his emotions and his jahl that he didn't even take the time to look at the picture that I sent to him and look down in the references before he spoke to say, let me not make a fool out of myself. I do it all the time. When somebody's trying to bust my head, I check myself. I look at what he put in there. I'll be like, is he right? And if he is right, I'm like, you know what? You're right. I stand corrected. And then I need to go tighten some stuff up. That's my position. He didn't even take the time to look at what I put in there. And that quote came from the what's it called? The Tamheed. I ain't even going to tell y'all what a Tamheed is. It's a very, very, very famous book. Very famous book. A very famous book from a very famous scholar. A scholar so famous that like the likes of no scholar alive has touched his rank right now. He said that he said that that quote was an interpolation, and that quote was pulled from a Tamhid. Like that, like this is what y'all call going to the Quran and Sunnah, and then you got all this tafsir out here, and then you got all this shuruh, and y'all go like y'all like for real. If you a Salafi, like go and find the nearest Madhabi Masjid and go and make bay'ah with them. I'm telling you right now, y'all are getting ready to make fools out of yourselves, well, if not already doing it. If you're going straight to the Quran and Sunnah, and then you go and try to say what the Quran and Sunnah means, and then you got somebody like Bayhaqi that's contradicting you. Then you got somebody like Ibn Hajar that's contradicting you. Then you got somebody like Ibn Abdul Barr that's contradicting what you say, your approach to the Quran and Sunnah, your tafsir to the Quran and Sunnah. No, next point. Oh no, I think I went through my points. Okay, yeah. Hold up. Oh, my last point. If this is how hypocritical they are. And mind you, I meant to say what nifaq is. Rasulullah ﷺ said, belittling the people and denying the haqq. That's nifaq. So I put the haqq up there. I put it up there. And then after that, immediately after that, he just start throwing slurs at me. This is the evidence that your intelligence run out when you just start cussing people out because they went across your head with the hawk. If you just start throwing slurs at them, you just put yourself in the state of nifaq. Make tawbah. This ain't funny. Make tawbah. This ain't no game. Make tawbah. I'll make tawbah with you. Let's go live and make tawbah together. And approach the Quran and Sunnah in the way that it's supposed to be approached. Y'all like Quran and Sunnah? Myself, and I got some guys that we will take y'all to Quran and Sunnah and bore y'all to death. I'm talking about we will bore y'all to death with the so-and-so said from so-and-so said from so-and-so, and so-and-so was questionable, and then so-and-so, his memory was not so strong, and he only had so many narrators. We will bore y'all to death. So if you ain't studying all them so-and-sos, refrain from posting all these hadiths and saying if it ain't Quran and Sunnah, all your Facebook sources saying if it ain't Quran and Sunnah, then I don't want it. You don't want Quran and Sunnah. You don't want Quran and Sunnah. If y'all truly wanted the Quran and the Sunnah, y'all would be some of the best madhab scholars in the world. Y'all not following Quran and Sunnah. First time I ever grabbed a hadith, the sheikh was like, "Do you know Fatiha?" I was like, "Yeah," and I started reciting this. So he was like, "Go back." I wanted to know what Rasulullah said. He had to taught me my Fardu Ain. He said, "Sit down and learn your Fardu Ain." Then I went and learned Fatiha correctly. I went and studied some tafsir. Some brothers helped me with the tafsir, the Fatiha, and a couple short surahs. And I came back to Sheikh. I was like, "Can I get the hadith book now so I can read what Rasulullah saying?" He said, "Did you memorize all the short surahs?" I was like, "No." He gave me a CD. He was like, go memorize that." Like he wasn't even having a conversation with me. Y'all not gonna do that. Memorize it first, then learn it. Mind you, this is when I first became Muslim. Didn't learn the Arabic. Which word is which? We had brothers around us who were like, all right, well, which word is alhamdu? Which word is Rabbil Alameen? Testing you. You parrot, don't be a parakeet. Now don't be a parakeet. Learn it. Like Ibn Umar said, they learned 10 ayah, they memorized 10 ayah, they learned the tafsir, and then they implemented it. And once they were successful with all of that, then they moved on. I think it was Ibn Umar. It took Ibn Umar 8 years to learn Surah Al-Baqarah. And you telling me you're going to go straight to the Quran and Sunnah, and it took Ibn Umar 8 years to memorize Surah Al-Baqarah. And you going to go to the Quran and Sunnah by yourself? Ibn Umar didn't go to the Quran and Sunnah by himself. What are we doing? Are we playing dress up, or are we practicing Islam. So that last point, nifaq, and the last, that's not the last one. Sorry, well, I wanted to close that point about nifaq. We need to be careful and we need to be cautious. This is what taqwa is. Ittaqullah. Ittaqullah. I read that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never gave a khutbah without telling the people ittaqullah. Be careful. Be very, very, very careful. Lastly, how can you quote Imam Malik and not follow him? How can you quote Imam Shafi'i and not follow him? How can you quote Imam Nawawi and not follow him? How can you quote Ibn Hajar Asqalani and not follow him? How can you quote any of the illustrious scholars and not follow him? When you quote them, you are following them. You are making taqleed of that person if you quote them. They were the quoters. You are the quotee. So it's illogical that you're not following the madhab. It's illogical. If you say you're not following the madhab, you're not a practicing Muslim. Your kalima shahada is that question at best. Because where are you getting Islam from? Don't tell me you got a Quran and you got a hadith set. Don't tell me that. I got a bunch of Jews and Christians that have more Qurans and more hadiths than you, and they read more Quran and they read more hadiths than you. So don't tell me your being Muslim is situated on you owning a Quran and you owning a PDF copy or an app that has Bukhari and Muslim on it. The phone is more Muslim than this kind of person. Na'udhu billah. What steps are you taking? What steps are you taking to actually be following Quran and the Sunnah? You memorizing your fiqh? You learning your tasawwuf? Your purification of yourself? Ibn Taymiyyah, who was a Sufi, he called it tazkiyah. Are you learning your tasawwuf and your tazkiyah? Because when we get to the next level, when we get to the sophisticated salafis, who pray and read a lot of Quran and they fast a lot and they posting all these hadiths on the internet and they doing videos, they dawah, they doing tabligh, they're going all around to different masajid trying to spread the Salafi minhaj. Are you not afraid of the hadith when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, you'll fast and all you're going to get is hunger? And this is a paraphrase. You'll fast and all you're going to get is hunger. And you'll stand up and pray at night, and all you will lose is sleep. All you will get is a loss of sleep. That's a Hasan hadith and not Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. You're not concerned about purifying your deeds. Qad aflaha man zakkaha. The person who succeeds is the one who purifies himself. Your salah is something that's supposed to purify you. But is your salah purified? That's tasawwuf. That's tazkiyah. Is your salah good? Is your fasting good? Is our fasting good? Is our salah good? How can you protect yourself from this? By sitting with those who deserve to be sat with and letting them dictate to you, letting them teach you, letting them show you how this thing go. It's the only way you're going to advance. You ain't going to advance no other kind of way. That's it. Y'all need to be scared. Y'all need to be scared to say the stuff that y'all are saying. And when I say, where's the isnad for what you're saying? Where is your mujtahid? When I say, where's your mujtahid? I'm talking about where's your likes of Imam Malik. I'm going to give y'all part of the answer. Y'all need to bring us somebody that says what y'all say, that has a sound, sound asanid, all the way back to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. We have sound asanid that says what we say, that goes all the way back to Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. It's apparent. That for you is zahir. What y'all doing is batan. It's hidden. It's not there. And even if you put the Ibn Taymiyyah card on there, Ibn Taymiyyah has no isnad for his aqidah. Like what he was saying was never heard of before he said it. Like we don't find it nowhere. So you can't throw you can't play the Ibn Taymiyyah card, rahimahumullah. You can't throw the Ibn Taymiyyah card. So you stuck with Uthaymin, you stuck with Fawzan, you stuck with Bin Baz, and you stuck with the big boss of the show, Ibn Abdul Wahab. Ibn Abdul Wahab originated this stuff and he passed it down to them, to those individuals. There's a isnad right there. So we need to check the originator, Ibn Abdul Wahab. We need to check his isnad. Where is it? Nowhere to be found. His own daddy and his own brother called him the horn of Shaitan. Na'udhu billah. So that's the end of this segment of this debate. I think I went into it enough. Let me get into some of the comments. And we right at an hour and a half. SubhanAllah, I was trying to make this an hour. I had a freaking flight to catch. Let me get to the comments. I like to get the folks involved. Who want to come on the show and talk to us? We want to do a live question and answer too, man, so we can get the people involved. I don't like that whole from the minbar down thing. I like to, like the Rasulullah Sallallahu used to do, like, sit in a circle on the floor around the people and we just rock out. I like that's how I came to the deen. Like, the knowledge should be approachable. So somebody, if y'all want to come on here and y'all want to talk and y'all want to ask questions or y'all just want to converse about how things go, that right there, I heard Sheikh how you told us, like, sometimes like people who were not so smart used to ask questions, and Sheikh used to, and then some brothers used to be like, man, why you ask that, man? They ain't. And Sheikh used to be like, no. Like this would be good for him, number one, for them, and then the people can listen to it. The people can listen to maybe somebody might have had that in their head and they just never said it, or they're afraid to say it, or they never had the opportunity to ask it. So if somebody got some queries, then come on and talk with us, so we can get y'all involved. And even if the questions ain't so good, people who might have it, they can learn from it. I said, take Imam Muhammad, Islam, said Chicago. Malik, of course, he's critiquing me. Malik Muhammad said I misspelled the word Salafi. Did I? No, I didn't. I put Salafis in English, or the word you hate, Salafia. You didn't say the curtain. Abu Isa, he's Salam. Man, y'all, man, hey. What did you say, Salih? He said we got a lazy staff. How y'all all watching this? Y'all ain't on here. The way these brothers, Imam Muhammad, Ustaz Salih, Ustaz Abu Isa, Imam Nadir, man, listen, these guys are computer brains. The way they can run stuff. Man, I was talking to Imam Muhammad earlier, Abu Muhammad, and man, him and the brother Jomo, they went. I'm talking about they went like inside the inside of a book, of a few books in a conversation, like recalling it from memory. Like, oh, they said this about Imam Abu Ya'la, and Imam Ya'la didn't say this in this book, but he said that in this book on this page in this section under this chapter. Man, what? I ain't gonna lie, you lost me. I knew you said some deep stuff though. That's what I'm trying to tell people. This stuff is sophisticated. This ain't go to the Quran and the Sunnah. This is how you can get misguided, because people like what he was explaining was like they lied on Imam Ya'la. They lied on him and attributed a false statement and a false interpretation of these matters to him, and put his name on it so they can convince us. But the only way that we know that they telling a lie, the Salafis can't see that they telling a lie. All they see is these big famous names and be like, oh, Imam Malik said this, Imam Ya'la said this. They see these big names, but they lying. And the way that we can tell that they lied because we have our authentic text that has it's not. And you got to be able to, go to that and be like, listen, this is the authentic text. This is the authentic statement. This is the authentic book. Boom. He said this. He didn't say that. What you just said, where did that come from? Like these dudes is sharp like that. And there's folks out here that's sharp like that. But y'all wasted time. Y'all wasted time listening to those comic book characters on YouTube. Solid said, man, he's so good, my dear brother. So maybe he is a she. Oh yeah, talking about that Abu fella. Yeah, like he a troll. Like the guy that I've been referencing, like he's some type of troll. He got like 3 or 4 or 5 pages, and like he one of them people that sit around on the computer all day, like messing with people. Like I even told him, I was like, well, why don't you come on live and explain yourself? I won't say nothing. I even offered for the dude, I even just to explain his position. I even offered, I said, listen, I will pay you and Malik. I'll just pay y'all 100 to come on here. And please, let's get this conversation rolling. I don't want to believe that y'all purposely misguiding people. Like when all of this evidence, like all this stuff, and they say, "Oh, you don't never say no evidence. You don't never." Y'all not first and foremost. Y'all not even qualified to ascertain the evidence, to certify the evidence. Y'all not even qualified to do. We can't even get that far with y'all. I can't pull all this stuff out. All these all Arabic texts and stuff. I can't pull all this stuff out with y'all. Y'all dudes don't even know what y'all talking about. I don't like it. We can't even get that far. About Isa, good. I'll say it. You say what? Thought meaning of the text, apparent meaning. He said, "Akthar an-nas la ya'lamu." Yeah, that's the ayah. Yeah, most of mankind don't know. See how sharp these dudes is, man. Go straight to the ayah. That's the ayah that I was telling y'all. That's what they use when we say y'all. How could y'all be Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah and y'all the micro minority of the community? I think it might be more Ahmadiyya people than it is them. But they well, numbers is not evidence, and the Shia say the same thing, and then they quote this ayah. Most of mankind will not know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not referencing the actual Muslims, the actual believers. If I'm not mistaken, that ayah was talking about Jews and Christians. But then again, they jump over the isnad. They jump over the salah. They say they follow the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of salah, but they jump over and run under and around the actual salah and go straight to the Quran and Sunnah. I had one Salafi tell me, I was like, well, Imam Malik. He's like, man, you telling me what Imam Malik said, and I got the Quran and the Sunnah. What? How did you even get the Quran and the Sunnah, brother? If it wasn't for people like Imam Malik, how did you even get it? Like it had to be given from Imam Malik to his student, to his student, to his student, to his student, all the way past down. It had to be. Or how did you get it? Did you live in the time of Rasulullah? You going straight to the Sahaba, and none of no Salafi can ever bring me the fiqh of Ibn Abbas, the fiqh of Abdullah ibn Umar, the fiqh of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, the fiqh of Anas ibn Malik. You can't any Sahaba. We follow the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the companions. No, you don't. It's impossible. And especially it's going impossible jumping over the 4 imams, because the only connection to the Sahaba and to the Tabi'een is through the 4 imams. No other assignees exist to this day. So what are y'all talking about? Y'all not following the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of Salah. Y'all are following the Quran and the Sunnah according to the way of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. Call a spade a spade. And mind you, let me put this out there. How could you follow the Aqidah of an individual who killed Muslims? The British was invading all of the Muslim lands, and he didn't even fight the British. He didn't swing one sword at the British, but he chopped the heads of Muslims off. That's a coward. That's a spineless demon. How could you want to follow the Aqidah of a person who killed people in the Haram? The British people didn't even kill people in the Haram. They got a flunky like Ibn Abdul Wahhab to do it. You follow it. And that's why I get very effeminate, because you follow a person who made the blood of Muslims lawful. Ibn Taymiyyah even never did that. You follow the aqidah of a person who made the blood of Muslims lawful. I want to throw up every time I hear a Salafi say Sheikh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. What? The truth about Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahhab. He was purifying the deen. All these scholars, Imam Malik, Ibn Abdul Wahhab doesn't even equate to the toenail of Imam Malik. And Imam Malik ain't never swing his sword at nobody. Imam Abu Hanifa used to go toe to toe with all of the Furuq at the time. He used to go toe to toe. He never swung a hand at nobody. Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahumullah, he was banging with all the madhabs all the time, even his own madhab. He was banging with all of them, and he went against people who was doing violence. So how's this the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf? How's this Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Sahaba? Or is y'all like, is this the Quran and Sunnah according to the Rawafid? The only people who wanted to hurt the Muslims with the Rawafid, the Rafidah. Them the only people. Is that the madhab that y'all on? That's the madhab that's your aqidah. The Rawafid. Your aqidah is the Rawafid. You killing Muslims. Y'all believe in killing Muslims. Kwame Abu Khalik, he said, Alhamdulillah. Yes, brother, Alhamdulillah. Kwame Abdul Khalik, he said, I don't understand how people can ignore Muhammad salam, in regards to the Quran. Imam bin Muhammad, Abu Muhammad, he said, if they can bring one, we will shut up. Period. And it's not, period. We'll shut up. And then y'all be the fifth madhab. I'm trying to make y'all the fifth madhab. And y'all keep cussing me out. He says the new matter. Abu Isa, he said, okay, the brother is rightfully so showing off his Arabic. And so this is how many ways you can't get around the word jama being like the majority. You got jama, yajma'u, jam'an, فهو جامع والمفعول به والمفعول به مفعول. That's a grammar term. So he's basically saying, I think he's saying that جمع يجمع جمعا فهو جامع. That's another for a جامع. والمفعول به مفعول. Yeah, so مفعول به is a sarf. That's a sarf term. This is different. Another one, much more. All these different ways you can say Jama'ah when it's meaning a lot. It's meaning many, not one, not a little bit, not minority. It means a lot. Yeah, even the Tamiya said, Sali, said, and they have the Holy Trinity Creed. Our religion is based on Quran, Sunnah, and Ijma. So the brothers on here confirming these things. I said, Ibn Taymiyyah said that. Hey, there's Imam Nadir. It's the ijma is the agreement of our scholars on a matter after the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Come on, you got all these brothers. And mind you, like what? I only know one of the brothers personally. Like the other brothers that I know, like we all met on Facebook and we all on the same thing. I had a sheikh, Salih had a sheikh, Abu Muhammad had a sheikh, Abu Isa has a sheikh. Like we all, this is ijma. Like we all believe the same thing and we don't even know each other. We just like-minded and we had different pathways and different asanid and it all said the same thing and none of it said what Ibn Abdul Wahhab said. Unbelievable. And then the brother Abu Isa still going. Ajma, yujma'u, ijma'an, fuhuwa majma' wal maf'ul bihi majma'. More ways to say the majority or many, a lot. Kwame Abu Khalik, he said, without the chain, it can't even start. Subhanallah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not familiar with the brother Kwame, but look. I don't know him. First time I seen him on the show. and he knows what's going on. He had probably had a sheikh to taught him right, and that sheikh had a sheikh to taught him right. Look at this is Ijma. It's alive and kicking and well. Y'all seeing it right here. But he's a good consensus agreement. Ijma. Abu Muhammad said they do Tyrell to Chetesimi. Said they interpret things in the wrong manner, pretty much. They do, and that's what's so funny. They say that Tawil is haram, but then they do Tawil and say Allah has an eye, but just like Allah has a hand. I seen a Salafi say this on YouTube, and he's very popular. He got like 1 million followers and stuff. And this is subhanAllah, he got like 1 million followers. He said, just like a clock has a hand and I have a hand, but my hand is not like the clock. This is like how it is with Allah. I have a hand and Allah has a hand. Allah's hand is not like mine. This is he said this. This is exactly what he said. If y'all want to see it, I'll put the video up. Now to be live. And they say Tawil. They call it a Tawili. I had a Salafi call me, oh, you Tawili. Like it was a slur. Oh, you Tawili. What? And you do Tawil? But you do a haram ta'wil? Man, they all mixed up. They wires is all crossed. It's shook and Isma wa Sifat. So that's their condition. And Abu Isa is a studying Hanbali scholar. He said their position is shirk in the Isma wa Sifat. It's big stuff. And when Abu Isa say stuff like that, it's kind of big. It's kind of a big deal because he in Egypt right now, sitting with some of the big dogs in the Hanbali religion. Hanbali madhab, excuse me. I'm tired. Hanbali madhab. Like that, like when he talking, I'm talking about this is what he doing. This is what he doing all day. He's studying. He went over there to sit with scholars. He's following the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. Y'all not doing that. You Googling. And Bessie said, what do you say to the community leaders that say the average person can't understand Islam because the concepts are too complex for the layman? So this is why they focus on a simple version of Islam or Salafism. You said it. That's the answer. I think you probably missed the beginning of this, but I was explaining how African Americans and Latinos get caught in it. We don't have educational backgrounds, and we're very simple people. And people can come to us with the hurrah and the hooray, and we go and jump on the bandwagon. Well, the party's over, fellas. I don't know what to tell you. But even how they try to misguide people and say that these things are too sophisticated for you to learn. This is why we do tafweed. We leave it alone. We don't say nothing. Somebody asks you, Kaifa ala al-arsh. You say you just repeat the ayat and look at him like he's speaking another language to you. That's it. That's it. Oh! I forgot my last point. Sorry. Let me not let y'all go without this. That brother who posted that as supposed evidence, he didn't even mention how Imam Malik told that man that he is the companion of a devil and he does bid'ah, and he ordered the other students to pick him up and take him up out of there for asking how was the istiwa. So Imam Malik is the Imam of the Salaf, and you want to follow the Quran and the Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. This is what you want to do. Well, what Imam Malik and them did, what those Imams did, they didn't touch that. They didn't even interpret it. They didn't say nothing about it. They left it alone. If you say you a Salafi and you say that you follow the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of Salaf, and you accept that interpretation that Allah Ta'ala is actually above the throne, na'udhu billah, you accept that, you are not a Salafi. You are not following the minhaj of the Salihin. You are not. You are not. And I got evidence to prove it. Don't make me keep embarrassing y'all. I just want to know, Salih said, I just want to know who was the first person who said parent. Man, bro, I've been Googling and looking in books all day. And it started with Ibn Abdul Wahhab. It started with him. Like we don't have this usuli principle in tafsir that's called the Wahid, the apparent meaning. We don't have that. We don't have that. It doesn't exist. It doesn't belong to the Quran and Sunnah according to the way of the Salaf. Muhammad. What? Huh? Why are you using the bathroom so much? Y'all need to go sleep. Y'all gonna be mad. You get up in the morning and you sleepy because y'all gonna go to school. Yeah, better lay down. He said, "Don't be sorry. Let the hot air out of the balloon." Ooh, man, subhanallah. I needed to hear that, big bro. I needed to hear that. Sometimes I feel bad because they say kalima shahada, and I don't want to feel like I'm castigating my own Muslim brothers and sisters. I don't want to be like I'm being mean and picking on my own Muslim brothers and sisters. But I can't never help when we go live and we trying to teach and and we just talking about, hey, let's talk about Sadr and Kabad, and then you got a Salafi in there just in the comments just continues to kind of, oh, you're a Mother, you're a Sufi, you're a grave worshiper, oh, you worship. Oh, come on, man. Like if they like it was in their own corner in the world, like the Shia and like the wife the Rafi and the Ahmadiyya. If y'all wouldn't bother nobody, y'all wouldn't bother y'all. But y'all always bothering folks. That's the reason why I changed my Facebook name to Al Maliki Al Ashari. So when y'all send me a friend request, Philly people, when y'all send me a friend request, look at it says Al Maliki and Al Ashari. If you come on here talk crazy, I'm gonna flame you. I'm gonna flame you. Period. Uh, but Isa said, "What's the evidence that the Salaf didn't take the apparent meaning of the text?" The Salaf said, "We take it on its apparent." Subhanallah. Abu Muhammad said, "Anyone can use Google Translate." Facts, man. Dude put all the Arabic stuff up, and when I asked him to translate what he posted to the people, he started calling me a grave worshiper and stuff. Anyway, Kwame says, "Subhanallah." Hey, Bilal, my brother, my big brother, how you doing? Yes, I saw a nigga out here. You see, you still lighting fire under the sun. Yeah, he done when he was around when I started my first little series. All right. Muhammad said trying to get the out of Masawid on here. Okay, yeah. Tell him what's happening. Yeah, this is the famous slogan now. We follow Quran and Sunnah according to the understanding of the Khulafa al-Rashidun. Right. Sure you do. But Muhammad said that Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah used to travel from Kufa to Basra every month to debate the deviance in creed. This is the Sunnah. And last comment, Abu Muhammad al-Maliki, he said, we are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, don't follow the Salafi religion. And look at the carefulness in his quote, the Salafi religion, not madhab, the Wahhabi, Salafi, bigot, Wallafi religion. I'm gone. I have to go. I have to eat. I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. Malik Muhammad, you my friend, you my guy. I know you personally. You my dude. Sometimes you just be going too far, man. We got each other's number, man. You could call me and we could talk about this stuff. You my dude, man. You trying to make me look stupid on Facebook, and you should know. I used to teach in the Clifton Masjid. Like you should know. Like I ain't no, I ain't no, you just know I ain't no slouch, man. If you try to play me like a smile, like a slouch, I apologize if I hurt y'all guys' feelings, man. But this stuff is serious stuff. We need to be concerned with falling into a state of nifaq, and we need to be concerned with stop falling into a state of nifaq. We all saying kalima shahada, we all praying, we all fasting, I guess we all doing the best we can, but that ain't enough. You need to throw some tasawwuf in there. You need to throw some tazkiyah in there. You have to. Ibn Taymiyyah did. Ibn Taymiyyah. Sooner or later on this platform, we're going to do an effort on Ibn Taymiyyah's book on Sufism, Tazkiyah to Nufus. And you know what the ironic thing? Before I even knew what Tasawwuf was, the book that inspired me to become a Sufi was the book by Ibn Taymiyyah, Tazkiyah to Nufus. We're going to bring that book on here and see what he has to say about the grave worshippers. I'm out of here. Got to pack for my flight. Make sure that I have a safe flight. Make dua that I stay on the right path. Make dua that my character increase. Again, I apologize if I hurt anybody's feelings. This ain't about that. We're trying to get stuff done. We're trying to progress, and we cannot progress if we don't have the key ingredients. Ibadah has to have the key ingredients. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Qad aflaha man zakkaha." He is successful who purifies his deen and purifies his religion. I don't like to say purify himself. I don't like to say that. That's too loose. He is successful who purifies his deen. So you own deen, you fasting, you praying, you wearing kufi, you wearing niqab, you doing that. But those good deeds purify you. How are you purifying your good deeds? How? This is what we should be concerned with. If you're playing with books and you're looking at this book and that book, if you're not doing any type of tasawwuf, you're not purifying your deeds. You are not. You're not. You're just throwing books at people's heads and expecting them to know it. Like physically, because it's law, remember? With that, I'm signing out. I love y'all all for the sake of Allah. أقول قول هذا أستغفر الله ولا إله إلا الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته